I'm Jerrad DeBolt from SaskTel's, Telco Cloud Dev.
Aaron Chartier, SaskTel's, Telco Cloud Dev as well.
Telco Cloud is like any other data center cloud. It has compute, storage. The only difference is really the workloads that are residing on there are very purpose-built for telco workloads, which really run your phone and all of your digital life that you run today is on those telco workloads. And I guess due to the nature of telco workloads, they don't have a lot of corollaries to the traditional IT workload that a lot of the blogs speak about every day. So it's a bit more of a niche area of cloud.
So traditionally, this is what we had.
Purpose-built beige boxes with lots of line cards that field techs would have to run out and replace on the regular.
And what we were promised was this.
We were promised racks of servers, commodity off-the-shelf hardware, infinite scale, horizontally and multi-tenant capable. It just wasn't there.
Unfortunately, this is what we were delivered.
We were offered the same thing that we had always had, except it was in a black matte 19-inch rack construction. It was the same servers, except instead of line cards now, we just have a bunch of pizza boxes inside of a rack. I think really what we did to resolve it was we sort of took the platform into our own hands. We leveraged OpenShift and took a lot of the learnings that we had from our previous Kubernetes experience and our NetBox and infrastructure as code experience and tried to apply them to this particular problem, which I think ultimately enabled us to create a cluster and destroy a cluster as if it was public cloud.
Yeah, just to Jerrad's point, I think during development we created and destroyed our cluster, our bare metal cluster, between 400 and 500 times, which apparently, according to Red Hat, is significant. On the flip side of this, we also went ahead and are pushing our vendors to, fully embrace GitOps. So there's been a lot of pushback, about having to do things correctly and properly from their side, but we're working together with our vendors to try and ensure that nobody else runs into these same problems that we are.
We've stuck to the premise that we want to have a single source of truth for all of our infrastructure. So it was important for us, not just in our OpenShift deployment that we've rolled out here, but in all other facets of our network, because there's so much interdependency between the network and the compute infrastructure, we need to have a single source of truth, and NetBox has been able to sort of provide that for us in conjunction with a lot of the community-supported providers and Ansible modules to get us there.
I think the biggest part is automation as well. We want a hands-off approach for everything as much as possible. We don't want people that mistyping commands and entering bad configuration files when we can, prevent it. So.
Yeah, I was just going to say, on the automation front, it's all about speed, and that's what people want. But the other thing that is sort of super important is that in a service provider, with the criticality of the workloads that we run, operational configuration roles is super important to us. And so by having a GitOps approach where we can essentially propose the changes to the network, have a merge request procedure where approvers can ensure that the configuration is going to not cause any problems with the network, we can roll that out and subsequently roll that back as needed. Because of the complexity of a lot of these systems, having individuals at keyboards logging into individual terminals, trying to modify this is just not a scalable solution anymore. And I think the GitOps component of this is really what is changing the way that we manage our networks. We are, I think, bringing a lot of that expertise to the table, especially with our partners at Red Hat here. I mean, they've almost helped us provide almost like an arbiter between our vendors, where we maybe want them to adhere to a particular capability, and maybe they're not as receptive to that. But Red Hat has sort of been able to be that go-between for us, where they can impress upon them the importance that they, bring a lot of the cloud native principles to their solution.